Hey Canucks fans, my name is RevTrev. Welcome to Kempner Canucks. And the question is this rift real? Is it just fake news? Is the media and the YouTubers, the content creators making all this stuff up? Are we the problem? Are the fans the problem? Is the GM, the coach, the president the problem? We're going to be talking about this and more. Thanks for watching. Let's hit the intro, and we're going to get into it. Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. I'm so glad that you're here. And things in Vancouver are getting heated, not just in the locker room, not just on the ice, not just in a media interview, a post-game interview, or a pre-game interview, or a middle in between games interview. Things are heating up with the fans, and it is getting spicy out there. And a lot of fans now are turning on the media, the content creators, and are trying to blame everyone. And that's probably the biggest point. The biggest point is that the Canucks are not performing to the level that we're all hoping. So what we are doing is we're trying to figure out why, and the blame game has started. And there's nothing wrong with trying to figure out why. But I do find it quite hilarious, some of the things that people are posting, and we're getting a little bit crazy. And they would just say, hey, listen, maybe it's us content creators getting crazy. Maybe it's the media getting crazy. It's the market that's crazy. It's the fan base that's crazy. Maybe it's all of the above. We are a passionate fan base. We love this team. We want to win a Stanley Cup very badly. It's been many, many, many years, and we have not won a cup. We've had some promise. We've had some excitement. There's a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and so that's why I believe that we need to start changing our mentality. Changing our mentality when we talk about our beloved Canucks, okay? So there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about tonight. And I'm really glad you're here, whether you're watching this live in the live chat, post a comment as I chat here tonight, and I'll get to those comments and those questions. But also, if you're watching this later, thank you for watching. And of course, hit the like and subscribe, but leave a comment, because I love getting comments, and they're lots of fun to connect with. In my comments in YouTube, I kind of be a little bit more direct because I don't have tons of time, and I just say, I just kind of make statements, or I say thanks for watching, or those kind of things. But I do like the conversation. So here's the big question for tonight: what do you think it will take for the media and the fans to stop talking about all this drama? Post in the comments. I think that the answer is obvious, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, let me just talk to you about something that's come up. Jason Brough tweeted this out. What time? Today at 3:30 p.m. Okay, fine. I'll throw this out there. You guys know the question: total media fabrication, or there's something there? So you could vote on that. I voted on there's something there. 67.2% of people voted that there's something there, and then 32.8% it voted that it's total media fabrication. Someone made a comment and said, "This is getting pathetic. Can we just move on?" And Jason said, "Probably not. Probably not." And I think that's a good way to say it, because, where there's smoke, there's fire. Is some things fabricated? Is some things rumor? Is some things actually factual? Yes, of course, all those things can be case. It also depends on what your opinion is. It depends on what you want and you expect, how these people will act. For example, Pedersen's post-game comments, I thought were very appropriate. He's frustrated with talking about it. I totally get that. He's also frustrated that they lost the game. He's frustrated that in 6 games, he has 0 points. So all that building up and him walking away, and he does not have to answer every question. He just needs to meet with the media and answer some questions. And if they keep asking him the same thing, there is no problem for him to walk out of there and to keep his cool. As you can see, he did swear in that to answer that question, and he apologized. So that's something that he doesn't want to do, is be swearing. He knows that there's lots of kids and other people, different values that watch his stuff. And I appreciated that he's saying he could tell he was getting frustrated. And then when Patrick Johnston asked the question again, so this isn't a distraction to you. And I'm not saying what Patrick did was wrong, because it's been the hottest topic in Vancouver for the last week. And I mean, it is red hot fire. He can walk away, and he's not a bad person from doing that. And Patrick's not a bad media person for asking the question. But it's interesting how the take is. And I think that we need to change our mentality. The reason why we're so obsessed with this is we have the wrong mentality. And I'm not saying that I'm the only one that's going to figure this out. I think a lot of people are now talking about this, but something I've been noticing. And so as you can see, this is very different than what my normal videos are like in the way of being passionate about the team. But I want this to be definitely a realistic and honest take. Okay. And so, yeah, I just think it's very interesting now. Fans are turning on fans. Fans are turning on media. Fans are turning on YouTube content creators. Cool. I'll show it to you as well. I want to make a couple comments before I get to that. Okay. I want to be very clear. I made a video called "Can't Coexist." I wanted to do it before the game last night. I'm really glad I made that video before the game last night, because everything changed after the game. There's been a Pedersen interview. There's been a JT interview. There's also, before the game started, we saw a Quinn Hughes interview, a Rick Tocchet interview, and they were saying there's some stuff there. That's what they're saying. So you can tell me all you want that there's nothing, but there is something. There is something. Now, whether they want to talk about it, they want to deal with it, or they want to say there's nothing, they don't want to add fuel to the fire. But Hughes said there's something. Hughes said it's workable. Tocchet said, hey, there's been rifts, there's things, guys don't get along. He wasn't denying it. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with two guys on a team not getting along, having feuds. Hey, last year I was at training camp in Victoria, and Garland and Dakota Joshua almost went to blows. Everyone had their phones out. Everyone wanted to talk about it. Meanwhile, they played on the same line last year. It was one of our best lines. They were so productive. They are happy to be teammates. So it's a good example that people can coexist even if they don't get along, even if they're not BFFs. Okay? So I think, in my opinion, if JT and Petey can coexisted before, that they can coexist now. That is totally plausible. I think that's what we're going to see going forward. And I also want to clarify right off the get-go is this. JT and Petey are not getting traded. Excuse me. This has been a topic of conversation that I've been interested in. I wanted to talk about. I've been okay with having some of these conversations. I've even suggested some of these things. But at the end of the day, I keep saying Petey's not getting traded. And I would say JT Miller's not getting traded. It would have to get way worse for them to have to get traded. What's happening is they're both in slumps. They're both trying to get out of funk. They've both been injured. And it doesn't make an excuse. It's just a reason. It's just a reason. It's the actual reasons. And we're not okay with them slumping. We're not okay with them getting paid all this money and slumping. That's the biggest problem. It's like you get paid this amount of money, you need to produce. But sometimes players have slumps. Some are for 2 games. Some are for 2 weeks. Some are for 2 months. And in Pettersson's case, some were for all playoffs as well. And starting of the next year. I mean, and then now he's on another slump. So we are concerned if you're paying 11.6 million AAV. And is this a trend or is it just a blip? It's just a blip in his long career that he's going to have. I get it why people want to trade, but Canucks fans want to trade. Every fan base wants to trade. We all want success. Problem is, it's a league of parity. And it's also everybody else is trying to win too. Everyone else is trying to build teams that can win a Stanley Cup. So it's no, you have to earn everything. No one gives it to you. We know that full well. So here's the thing. We're really frustrated because our stars needed to show up in games, especially big games like Vegas, New Jersey Devils, etc. Fill in the blanks, Tampa Bay, whatever it is. And we need to beat the teams that are below us. And that's the problem. We've also struggled doing that as well. My answer to this question, so what do you think it would take for the media and the fans to stop talking about all this drama? I think the answer is quite simple. Winning solves everything. Winning solves everything. So let's talk. Is this rift just fake news? Is JT Miller really toxic? Is he a cancer in the locker room? And I've already talked last video of why I hate the term toxic and cancer. I think the real reason is this, and this is where we need to change our mentality, is that we have new and higher expectations. And maybe we just need to change our mentality. We think we're contenders, but maybe, just maybe, probably, we're just pretenders. And that's the question. Are we contenders or pretenders? And that is the big thing that we're having a hard time figuring out. We want to say they're contenders, but maybe we're just pretenders. Now, I want to show you something that came across my comments. And I thank this guy for commenting, but it kind of shows how angry the fan base is and how they're trying to direct blame to other people. Said today, Miller said to the media, you guys created, by this is Darren Noel, 8781. And he says, today, Miller said to the media, you guys created this thing. It's not a thing, referring to the supposed feud between the two. This confirmed what I already knew. So Darren knew this already. Yeah. There was never a feud. A few months ago, during an intense practice, they were pushing and shoving and had some heated words. So what? Similar things happen on every NHL team. I agree, Darren. You're right. Other than that, there's no evidence whatsoever of a feud. So why are the sports media and also fans on social media and YouTube channels continuing to gossip and speculate about the feud that was never the focus should be on the Canucks needing to play better because there's a danger of them missing the playoffs And yes, both Miller and Pettersson need to play a lot better, both offensively and defensively. Otherwise, they will miss the playoffs. And then, as you can see, capital letters, stop the bloody gossiping on the feud that has never existed. My advice to the sports media, to the fans, and to the people who have YouTube channels, if you love fantasy stories that much, then why not go out and buy some comic books and indulge in those fantasies in order to get your fix? Well, Darren, thank you so much for commenting. I do appreciate it. I value conversation. This is my thoughts. At the end of the day, as a fan, as a content creator of the Vancouver Canucks, nobody makes you make this content. I do it on my own free will. I like doing it. I like interacting with the fans. I like talking about the team. There are no end of storylines in Vancouver to talk about, but this one especially has getting hits and clicks because people want to know. I'm not the guy who always wants to do all the clickbait stuff, but I do want to talk about topics that are relevant to the team. And not only is it me, but it's all of us talking about it. And there's a reason why you clicked on this video and clicked on my last video, because you want to know. Now that you've heard JT Miller's side, now that you've heard Pettersson's side, your opinion's changed. So is mine. I've totally changed my opinion on this. I don't think it's a big thing like it used to be. I do think there is something to it. It's not just fabricated from the media. I think that's craziness. But maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're all delusional. And maybe there's nothing, absolutely nothing going on. All I know is, hey, it happens in other teams. It happens in other sports. Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr. That's a fact. There's a video of Draymond Green laying out Jordan Poole. I didn't like that video. I didn't like that he did that. That was awful. I don't like that that stuff happens on teams, but it happens. And I think as long as you're clicking on those things, people are going to continue to make content. The media is only asking questions that the fans want to know. I want to know what's the problem with this team. I'm trying to figure it out just like everyone else. And just around the corner, it's Christmas, everyone. And this has been the hot topic. We've got lots more time on our hands this week coming up. And people are going to be talking about it around their tables, around the Christmas tree. They're going to be going to games. That's what people are talking about. That's what the you know, you're driving down the road, listening to sports talk radio. This is what they're talking about. Because you know why? We all want to know. We're trying to figure it out. So yeah, is it gossip? Maybe. Is it factual? Maybe. But we're trying to all figure it out. But I think we need to change our mentality, because I think that we think that we're contenders, but right now we're pretenders. Now, we've had massive injuries. We've had massive drama. And to be where we're at, I'm quite happy with it. I know a lot of you guys and girls that come into my streams, come in and my videos, and you're not okay with it. You're angry. You're frustrated. You can't believe the Canucks are not making a trade. And I get it. I get it. I want us to win too. I hate losing. I want this team to win a cup. Whatever it takes, I want us to do it, right? So that's the problem, though, is like you just can't. It's not always next man up. When you have these injuries, when you have these slumps, what do you do to get out of it? Listen, Rick Tocchet doesn't look like he's having a good time. Now the conversation is, will Rick Tocchet be the coach all the way through the season, or is he going to get fired? I mean, that's a logical question. I'm not saying it's a fair question. I'm just saying it's a logical question. I think that Rick Tocchet is going to be the Canucks coach going forward. You don't just win a Jack Adams trophy as the best coach in the NHL and just fall off the map. But he's a very good coach. I think he's baffled. I think he's feeling like he doesn't have a full deck of cards to play with. And then the cards that came back aren't producing to their ability. It's actually a miracle that we're at the stage we are. If it wasn't for Quinn Hughes, if it wasn't for Lankinen, And if it wasn't for Sherwood, I'm telling you right now, we would be bottom of the barrel. There's no way that Kevin Lankinen should have put up these kind of numbers while Demko has been injured. And we're talking for months and months and months. All offseason, finally starts playing again. I'm glad to have Demko back, but what a gift Lankinen has been. Sherwood is having a career year, and it's December 22nd. It's amazing. Like, he's on pace to have the best year of his life. And Quinn Hughes is just the best defenseman in the NHL. He literally put our team on his back against Ottawa. 3 goals. He had 3 points in those 3 goals. So he had a goal and 2 assists. He literally did everything humanly possible for him and his talents and abilities to keep this team in play. And we still lost. Because you know why? JT Miller, Pedersen are not playing to their contract or their potential. And we're just not okay with that. I'm not okay with it. Neither are you. And guess what? Neither are they. Pedersen said is his own worst critic. JT Miller, as you can see in his press conferences, he is passionate, absolutely passionate about this. He's not happy with how he's playing. Rick Tockett's not happy with how they're playing. JT Miller even said, that game, that was my fault. I let that shorthanded goal. I was in the wrong spot. I mean, he's taking ownership. I mean, that's what the thing is like, we want them to take ownership, but we more importantly want them to make a difference. But I think as fans, as content creators, as media, that we need to just think of our team and change our mentality. That this team is not a contender at this stage. It has walked through so much drama and injuries. We're actually really blessed to be where we're at. Now, let's also talk about this one. Our defense is just not good enough, and everyone's been talking about it. Hughes and Hronek and then here's the thing. So we're relying on Tyler Myers. We're relying on Carson Soucy. And then we've got a mixed mash of guys in that bottom 6 or the bottom 3rd pairing. You got Forbert, you got Brandstrom, you got Juleson, you got Desharnais, you got Friedman. It's a revolving door down there, guys. It's a revolving door. And they thought it was going to be good enough, and it isn't. And here's the other thing. We're like, we need to trade for a top 2 pairing, second pairing defenseman. That's what we want. So all the rumors about Anderson and Marcus Pedersen and, name whoever you want to insert the name here. We need to trade for this guy. But guess what? The asking price is too high, and you have a GM and a president of hockey operations that are not willing to spend so much capital, draft capital, prospects, players on the roster just to slightly improve. That Lindholm trade last year, everyone talks about how awesome it was. Hindsight 2020, it wasn't. We didn't even get past the second round. We gave up so much draft capital, or capital in that thing. The prospect we gave away, I mean, he was 4th in OHL scoring. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not a fan of rentals. I know that was not their plan. They offered him a contract. They wanted him to stay. I have no problem with the Zadorov one. A 3rd and a 5th to get a guy to go for a run, let's do that. But once you're going after guys like Lindholm, and then he goes to Boston, instead, he wants to make $750,000 more a year. I can't blame him for that. But here he is. I don't want to make those deals. I'm very happy that our management hasn't overpaid to slightly upgrade. And then here's the other thing. I keep saying that term. Hronek. He's out. It's made our defense worse. We're missing him. And we're seeing what it's like without him. Yeah, so that's my little rant, 25 minutes in. Let me just get into my promo. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into your comments. And I'm so glad that you're here. But I do think that we need to change our mentality. We're not as good as we thought we were going to be. Now, we have potential. We definitely could. We definitely could. When we get healthy, when they start clicking again, we do have the potential. But like I said, winning solves everything. And until we do that, let's go to the media. Not the media, to my quick promo, and I'm going to get into your comments. I've got huge news to tell you right after this. I got big news. Okay. All right, so my big news is tomorrow night, I'm not streaming because I am going to the San Jose Sharks Vancouver Canucks game. I am so pumped. I'm going with a friend, came up last minute, and I plan to record it and make a video. It might take a few days because I'm actually not going to be near my computer when I need to make it. So I'll see what I can do, everyone. But I am going to be away for Christmas, and I'm not going to be streaming during that time. But man, I'm going to post some pictures. I don't know. I'm going to shoot some video. Maybe I'll put something together, and I'll do a video when we get back. But man, I can't believe that I'm going to the game. I'm so excited to see Celebrini tomorrow. Oh, that is so exciting to me. His first time back in Vancouver, I believe, since, or were they here already? I think they were here already. Can't remember. So that's my big news. Now I want to get into your comments, and so glad that you're here. And Callum, let's go. We need some positivity. Absolutely. The fan base is kind of burning to the ground right now, right, brother? Guys are worse than women when it comes to rumors and rumor mongering. I think we're all bad. Like, honestly, we're all bad. It all depends on what the topic is, my friend. But trade Pettersson and Höglander for Tage Thompson and Bowen Byram. See, Brian, you're welcome to say this. This is what gets clicks. This is what people want to talk about. This is what people see. This is why people are jumping on. And that's why we're making videos called, like I just saw Lego Rocks video today. Trade incoming soon. It's like, well, you watch the video. There is no trade incoming soon. He's not giving you any insight, and I'm not criticizing him, but he believes that there's a trade coming soon because of all the stuff that's been talking about. There might be a trade. I just don't think it's with JT Miller and Pettersson. But if it happens, he's right. I'm wrong. I think it's going to be a smaller trade. It's like watching a snake trying to eat its tail. Yeah, it's frustrating for sure, but people do that. Freddie, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Christmas Eve. I don't know. Is that what I was going to say? Brian now wants to trade Miller and Desharnais to the Rangers for Lafreniere and Andre Miller. Maybe. If they start winning, people won't care anymore. I agree. It's mostly the media trying to get a story. I think it's partially media, but I also think it's us as fans. It's me as a fan. I want to know. I'm listening to their comments. I'm listening to the post-game interviews. And that's the thing about the Canadian market is we care. So is it hard to play in a Canadian market? Yeah. But when you win, they love you. So you can't have one without the other, right, Freddie? The fans want the team to win. We totally care. Okay. You just solved all the Canucks problems. You want to trade both Pettersson and Miller. Okay. That would be so difficult to do. I think just pulling off one trade would be hard enough. Pulling off two that would actually benefit our team, that'd be an even harder thing. Freddie, it's a bunch of guys. It's a brotherhood. And of course, there's going to be fights and disagreements. All normal. Absolutely. I agree. 2 to 3 weeks of good hockey where they play up to their talent offensively and defensively, and this noise will fade to a gentle whisper. You're right. Dingbat is here. All the credited media guys need to look in the mirror. Okay, there needs to be serious credentials to be a sports reporter. It should be reserved for ex-pros like Ferrero and Beachz only until then. I don't know. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but to be honest, Ferrero and Beachz have some charisma to themselves, and I like watching them, but not all former players are entertaining to watch, are interesting to listen to. And I think that a lot of our media guys are really good. I think IMAX, really good. I love listening to Dolly Wall and Donnie banter back and forth. I like Thomas Drance and his takes. I like and his co-host and Halford and Bruff. I like that. I like Sakaras and Price. I like Canucks Army. I like content creators, all of us, whether it's Canuck Clay or I got myself in there or Locked On Canucks or you name it, right? There's all of us trying to do our best just to talk about our team. Nothing is perfect, or there's all kinds of us out here doing our thing, right? So I actually find it entertaining. I want to watch it. So that's the thing. You don't have to click on a video. You don't have to follow someone. You don't have to, but guess what? We're interested. And this is interesting conversation. My question is, whose side is the media on? Clearly not the fans or the teams. Really? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think they're on a side. I think they're just reporting. Like I saw someone post that Elliot Friedman? By the way, Elliot Friedman sometimes says things that he thinks that he has not heard as a report. And he throws things out because he likes just spitballing. And then they become rumors and everyone wants to talk about it. But he said he thinks that there are some media that are out to get Pettersson. I'd be shocked. I wish Ian Cole would still be with the team, answering hard questions to settle down the group. That's good. I mean, he's veteran presence, right? Ian Cole's calming influence was underrated. You're probably right on that. Swearing is okay now. The CRTC says it's legal, Rev. I mean, that's fine. You can live whatever way you want. I'm going to live the way I have really high values, high standards for myself. And you can do whatever you want. I really appreciated that Pettersson said what he said. He was really frustrated and he apologized. I think that's smart. That's a smart move. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a lot of kids that are watching him, that are looking up to him, and they're listening. I think that's a good move. And I'm never going to criticize someone for having a high standard of themselves and how they interview. I appreciate that of him. They both probably already want out of Vancouver. I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't I don't know. I have a hard time with that, Cousin Vinny, because, and I'm not here to argue with every single comment that's going on, but let's just think about that logically. If you really didn't like it in Vancouver, why would you sign here for 8 years? I mean, it's a good question, isn't it? If you really didn't like it somewhere, like Pettersson could have got probably even more somewhere else. They were both good. Miller could have got the same or more somewhere else. Horvat got more than JT Miller, guys. So I don't think they want out of Vancouver. I just think they want to win. Callum, the Canucks players ought to use sock puppets in media availability for plausible deniability. Grogu can save us here. The Botch guy. Hey, good to see you, buddy. So good to see you. Instead of Miller and Pettersson, Besser could become the scapegoat. I made a video on this, and trade bait to acquire a top 4 defenseman like Bowen Byram, he definitely could, because are we going to sign him back? If the plan is that he wants too much money and we want to sign him back, we need to ask that question, right? Raymond, that's a great question to ask. That's the guy that I really think possibly could get traded. Do I want him traded? No. Depends how much he wants, what the term is he wants. If he produces, we want him. But if he doesn't, we want to ship him out. I like the flow. I think we should go with the flow. I thought it was great that he scored last night to tie it up. I love it when he's successful. I think he's a high character guy. I think he's super talented. And he's been faithful to our team. So, not that I want him to go, but I bet you that's the more realistic one. The Höglander rumors, the Brock Besser rumors, I think those are more realistic of a trade scenario than it is about Pettersson and Miller. Please get rid of the dump and chase method. Yeah, I mean, Rick Tocchet does that, right? Puck possession is so vital for the Canucks to generate momentum, but they give the puck up so easily. Yeah. When it works, it's great. When it doesn't, it's awful, right? Maybe the Sedin twins as assistant coaches and player counselors. Yeah, exactly. Bring them back, right? Don't see Miller listening to the Smurfs. No, I don't think he's going. He is. They have to change up the system. It's not working with the personnel they have. Maybe it's unfixable. And maybe what we're all been saying was we need to trade for someone is the solution. Or maybe we just need to get healthy and we're going to be fine. But we'll see. Barbershop window. This team has been together for 5 years. Last year was a fluke. This is the real Canucks. Maybe you're right. And that's something that we need to think about and to understand. Maybe you're totally right. Or maybe we're better, and maybe we just face a lot of injuries, and maybe we've had just way too much trauma. I mean, I don't know why JT Miller left the team. I don't think it's because he got in a spat with Pettersson. I don't think that JT Miller is toxic. I think he's passionate. I think he wants to win. And I think there's lots of things said in the locker room. So maybe it is a fluke. Maybe this is the real Canucks. And if that's the case, we have to be okay with that. But we want to win a cup. So we'll see. Love Tocchet, however, he may have to go. Maybe. I mean, every coach is hired to be fired, right? They're not going to be with us for 30 years, but I think Tocchet's going to be around for a long time. But I love him too. Savvy, it says, I think all our problems just come from our defense and not being able to break the puck out. That's it. Yeah, the defensive stuff, we can't generate enough shots. High danger, quality chances. We can't do that. And we do have defensive problems. We just do. And we're trying to mix mash it, and that's it. So you're right. That's probably one of the biggest things. Victor, hey, my friend, good to see you. Merry Christmas. I think that people just want a reason to explain why PD is so inconsistent, and this gives them a reason because nothing else makes sense. Yeah. I think you nailed it. Nothing else does make sense. Nothing else makes sense at all about this. This is so strange and weird to us. Just plug it in my phone. Charging it while we're talking here. Love the sweater. Yeah, this is from Gary. He bought one for me. Isn't that cool? So nice. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's true that we finally feel entitled, but in reality, Canucks have been good for 6 months. Yep. That's the truth. After Wild scored 7 goals on them in the third, it's been pretty much over. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's over, but yeah, we've struggled. Alex, I see the end of Tocchet soon, not the players. I mean, I think that's just the next rabbit hole, to be honest with you, that we need answers. We don't know why we're winning and all that stuff. So we need to blame somebody, right? And Alex, you might be right. Maybe it's Tocchet. Maybe Tocchet is toxic. I don't think he is. But, You know how we've moved from this guy to that guy to this guy? We just want to win. So the Canucks were neither contenders nor pretenders. They had been one-hit wonders in making the playoffs. Maybe. We're about to find out. Right now, if the playoffs started, we're in. So, but we'll see. I feel very vindicated on Woodsy. Yeah, you love Sherwood. He's great. And so do we. Nothing to see here. Move along. These aren't the droids you were looking for. That's awesome. These aren't the droids you were looking for. We'll all remember Rankinen, an absolute legend for us these past few months. Absolutely. So was Shelovs, by the way. And look at, he's chopped liver now on this team. The Canucks were neither playoff contenders or pretenders. We just talked about that. Having a hard time to handle heightened expectations. That's possible. Major, Teo, good to see you. Hughes, Sherwood, and Lanky have been awesome. They have been. I thought the Miller interview today was good. I did too. I really enjoyed it. We were all wrong. And Santa says we all get coal in our stockings. Cousin Vinny, that's great. I love it. Jorg, good to see you. Welcome. Maybe, just maybe, this whole episode with JT and PD was a plot conceived by the coach to bring up the play of the third and fourth lines, just thinking out loud. Could be. For example, we could expect a 600 team and hope that they just improve game by game with potential to turn to 0.75. So, yeah, it's true. Merry Christmas, y'all. Back to watching Scrooged. Awesome. Good to have you here, Callum. Appreciate you. Dell, Trev, every team in the league needs a second pairing defenseman. Absolutely. You got to develop our own. And that is really a huger conversation, Dell, that I really appreciate, because the answer really to our problems is already in our organization. I think DPD, I think Vilander are going to be guys that are going to step into those roles, and we are going to have a very good defensive core for the future. But it's going to take time, and we don't have time. We want to win now. Let's all go back to playing cricket. That's awesome. Major says Lindholm originally wasn't intended to be a rental. That's true. It didn't work out. Yep. Management seems too excellent at filling voids. However, good chance they will make a great trade come up here. There's a good chance of that. I'm glad they haven't made anything yet if it hasn't worked for us. Bing Tang Warriors here, one of our members. Hughes is off the charts, 14 points ahead of the pack. It's wild, isn't it? Isn't it wild? The big news is Grogu is getting a sweater. That's awesome. Are you bringing him one? That's great. Barbershop, Ducks have more losses than wins. Yep, we do. And we've had a lot of injuries. Dallas has more wins than losses. Dallas is not in the playoffs. It won't last. Dallas, Utah, or Flames will take the last two wild card spots. I mean, if we're going to run, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to win tomorrow night and then be there live to see it. I just asked the media to stop with JT and the PD thing. Okay. Then we need to stop clicking on those videos. I wouldn't listen to Lego Rocks. I mean, you can, whatever you want, man. He's putting a lot of work into all this stuff. And whether you like a content creator or not, that's up to you. But I'm just saying, he's not the only one saying it. There's a lot of people saying what he's saying right now. I highly doubt there's a Miller-Pedersen trade. I agree. It'll be Höglander and Shelovs or something like that for a second pairing D-man. And I think so. But who's going to give up a second pairing D for Shelovs and Höglander, who have not played good? Well, why do you want the guys that I'm struggling? And I'll give you one of my top four defensemen. It sounds good to Vancouver land, but they're not stupid either, right? So, and you know that, Andrew. Canucks lose tomorrow. I'm calling it. Season is done. Okay, that's a very negative take. You're welcome to do that. What about altering the top two centers? Home games, JT plays. Away games, PD plays, and they never play at the same time. Gives JT more time off he seems to need, and PD plays better when JT's not playing. PD's only played better when JT's not playing just recently. We'll talk about the first part of the season last year. It was Pettersson, JT coexisting. A lot of line was buzzing at times last year until they got to the end of January, and then it didn't work. Something switched. Pettersson says he was hurt. I don't, this is an idea. I'm not a fan of this idea, but thank you for sharing your idea. You can post off your phone, Rev. I can't do live streams off my phone. StreamYard will not let you do that. But thank you. I'm pumped about going to the game tomorrow. I think it's going to be a smaller trade, but look how successful management has been with their picks. No reason to doubt the management. I agree. Hughes is so good. The Canucks are watchable even if they lose. Yep. Would you trade Pettersson and Miller for remaining Hughes brothers? No, I wouldn't do that. I don't think Luke Hughes is going to be as good as his brother Quinn. I think that would be a bad trade for us. But don't get me wrong. I want Jack and Luke to be here. Maybe I'm wrong about Luke. Maybe he is unbelievable. Maybe he's I haven't watched him enough to actually have an opinion, so I got to be careful. But I think we have the best Hughes brother. Absolutely. But those guys are definitely high on my radar. Definitely. Yeah, I know. Like different people. Some people love Elliot Friedman. Some people don't like him. Some people don't like, name. Some people might not like me. That's fine. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I always tell people, if you like passionate, realistic, and honest Canuck content, then hit this like and subscribe, because that's the kind of stuff I make. If you don't like that, don't watch it, right? So Freeman is who he is. He stirs it up sometimes. He's right sometimes. He's wrong sometimes. Sometimes he's just spitballing, just throwing ideas out there, and people treat his information as the greatest insider. I remember when Bob McKenzie was the biggest insider, but Dhaliwal is ours for Vancouver. I think a lot of people are tuning into him. Boys will be boys. Need time to play hockey. Angela, you're right. It would be cool to get, it would be an awesome blockbuster trade, Hughes brothers for our guys, but I don't know. I wouldn't do that. It's not you guys I'm talking about. It's the guys who ask the players questions. They have no idea what it's like to be a hockey player. It's true. I have no idea. I have zero idea what it's like to be what only hockey players know. The post-game conversations would be more conductive. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Maybe it should be them. Friedman always starting these rumors. He starts a lot. I agree. Jack, good to see you. I'm glad that Jack is back. Good to see you, man. Miller has an attitude. Yep, for sure. Great player, but not good for morale. I don't know. I just want to win. Do you think that Brad Marchand is the best human being? I have no idea. We'd all say no, but what do we know? He's probably the nicest guy. I think the things that he does for his fans, but he's just a pest out there, and then everyone just thinks they hate him. It's like maybe he's a super nice guy. We didn't like it because he licked our players. We didn't like it because they beat us in the finals. You know what I mean? Like, so this narrative about Miller and that he's awful to play with, I don't know. Maybe it's true. I'm just not buying it right now. I think it's just we're losing, and we've got to figure out someone to blame. Major says Canucks media and the fans are extremely passionate. Emotional extremes are a double-edged sword. Are double-edged swords. Elation when they win and chaos when they lose. I'm in the States, and it's different here for the NHL. Major, you're right. People don't care in the States. They don't care. Now, talk to them about football. Talk to them about the NBA. Talk to them about Major League Baseball. there's difference. They are passionate. Yeah, I like the Locked On Canucks guys too. I like tons of Canucks content creators. I vote for YouTubers to do the reporting and interviews for the team. Problem solved. There you go, Freddie. At least we'd be entertaining, right? Some of those post-game questions are lame, though. I agree. I don't think we should be asking them the same question 10 different times. It's like, would you have liked to have more points on the board tonight? Yeah, I mean, that is an awful question. You're right. But sometimes they have to ask some of these questions to get a response. Let's be honest. A lot of hockey players are super boring interviews. Man, I'm telling you, there are so many great personalities in other sports. The NHL is a tough one. Our stars are not really entertaining. They're just not. I love Quinn Hughes, but he's not an entertaining interview. McDavid's not an entertaining interview. McDavid's not really an entertaining interview. And I'm not saying they're boring people. They're just smart. They know how to answer questions. I mean, the Tortorellas of the world are fascinating and controversial. I miss Don Cherry. I that's why we love Beachz, because he is charismatic and interesting. But there's other people on the panel that are boring or behind desks that, I mean, we have to have some kind of charisma, and we all identify with other people. But I do agree, you have to have better questions. So what do you ask? What do you ask? Click like and subscribe for free for RevTrev and Grogu. Thank you so much, everyone. Hit the like and subscribe, everyone. I appreciate it. Pete didn't want us to stay here. He signed a $47 million bonus just for signing. I wouldn't have signed that bonus. You got a $47 million bonus just for signing? That's wild. Jack, I think they hate the media. I mean, yeah. Listen, Marshawn Lynch didn't like the media. I'm only here so I don't get fined. Right? He didn't like it. It's hockey, not Hollywood. Well, I think the buzz, I mean, at the end of the day, it's what drives engagement. People watch. When there's controversy, it's not, I mean, if your team stinks, why watch? Why watch? Because there's some kind of drama. There's something new to talk about, and we love our sports. Yeah, there's part of me that would hate to see Besser go. I think he's an amazing guy, but I can understand if he does. Marcus, good to see you. Good evening to you. Merry Christmas to you. Am I bad for thinking the drama is kind of fun? No. There's nothing wrong with thinking that. The hockey has been so bad lately, and we just want to be entertained. I was super entertained last game with the Ottawa Senators. The Boston game I missed, thankfully. That would have not been a fun game to watch. The Devils game, 6-0, was not fun to watch. There was a number that were not, but most of them, I would say 80%, 85% of our games, I've really enjoyed watching. Whether we win or lose, I still have enjoyed and been entertained. Gotta chill. The problem is the defense. If you can't break out with the puck, how can you score? Good point, Jack. Sometimes it's one piece, one trade that makes a huge difference. You're right. We agree. We have a losing mindset. Probably. What did you think of the PD walk-off? I like the fire. Hopefully you see it on the ice. I have no problem that he walked away. I actually talked about it at the beginning of my video, Jack. I have no problem that he walked away. He didn't like that there was multiple questions about the same thing. He didn't want to talk about it. He was mad the team lost. He was frustrated with the same questions over and over. He's also hasn't scored a point in 6 games. All that builds up. I have no problem. I don't think he was a baby for walking off. All these people are saying that. No, there's nothing wrong with what he did. There's nothing wrong with what he did. And I agree. I hope it translates onto the ice. Tocchet has been so transparent. One of the best coaches we've ever had. He's not going anywhere in a minute. I agree. I don't know how true it is. Eddie Lack said that there was a problem when he was there. And there might have been. I'm not disagreeing with him. But interesting, hey? I don't think Tocchet is the next move. Things would have to be worse for that. That's true. I was hesitant to go to the game versus the Sharks tomorrow, but hope to shake your hand live at least. Yeah, I'm in section 120 tomorrow. I think seats 103 and 104. So yeah, love to connect with people. So Raymond, hopefully we get to connect. I was thinking about wearing this, but I kind of really want to wear a black skate jersey because it's black skate night. I also want to wear my JT Miller jersey because there's no better time than the present about that as well. I'm kind of confused what I should wear. I don't know. Do I sound like my wife, my daughter? What should I wear? You know, I like PD showing some emotion. Could be a Swedish thing. I liked it too. Have fun at the game. Call out the first goal scorer. I'm gonna say, well, we rarely score the first goal, but I'm gonna say I want to say Sherwood, but I don't think it's going to be him. I want to say JT Miller, but it's because he's my favorite player. Who realistically? Jake DeBrusk. It's going to be the first goal scorer. That's what I'm saying. Final answer. Yeah, I don't think it was a Swedish thing. I think he was just annoyed. I don't get why they don't give DPD a look. I don't know either. I think it's because it's a log jam and it's like he's just as good or maybe a little less. Dell, I believe that we live in the same area, bro. We could just meet together and you can hand it to me. Canucks could win 3 in a row and everything would be all right. I agree. I wouldn't be so sure about winning tomorrow. Yeah, there is no, you got to earn everything, so we could lose. She loves sounds like bread. Yep, he does. He does. Canucks will make the playoffs, just need to be hot at the right time. Come playoffs to make a deep run. Gravely, I love it. I love the positivity. The man, the Chicago Blackhawks fan who always comes in here, and I absolutely love you being here, man. Get to see Celebrini tomorrow night, man. I'm pumped. I don't know if the Sharks are playing well. They're playing better. Lego Rocks isn't a reporter. No, he's not. He's not. He's a content creator. That's what he is. And he's got a niche, and he's got a massive following. Good for him. Good for him. It's Jeff Patterson and those idiots with the press pass making stuff up. Maybe, but I like Jeff Patterson a lot. I like iMac a lot. I like Patrick Johnson a lot. I like Thomas Drance a lot. I don't know, like who's making it up? Is it them? I don't know. Maybe Miller left just so he can tell PD, hey, we know you can put up points with the bun. What's that? With DeBrusk. Oh, you're gonna be at the game too. I'd love to meet you guys. Be so cool. Oh, and I totally agree. It would be a stacked card coming out of Vancouver with Höglander and stuff is more my point for maybe only one thing in return. Yeah. DeBrusk, why you stop? What? I don't know. Even if Luke is 80% of Quinn, that's still worth it. I have no idea how good Luke is. Watch we win 10 in a row and everything is hunky-dory. That'd be awesome. Daniel says, I was 50-50 on that. Luke definitely brings the value of that trade down slightly, though Jack is likely the best of the 4 players. 2025, Safari Bear says 2025 should be the awakening of the Stanley Cup contending Canucks. Yes, love it. I was going to say, I think the Canucks blockhead Freeman from Scoops. Blocked Freeman from Scoops. His Canucks stuff seems to be speculating now. Could be just speculation. Media needs to chill and let them be professional. But the fans want to know. The media wants to. I want to know. So I like it. They're asking questions. I just don't like it. They ask the same question 10 different ways. Brad Marchand is pretty funny. even if he's a pest. So Quinn and Tocchet confirmed there's a beef, but Petey and Miller denied it. Thoughts? I know that's the thing. I think there's something there, but I agree that from Pettersson and JT Miller, it's not big enough to make a big deal about. That's where I'm like with them. We've blown it out of proportion. And even Quinn Hughes is like, hey, there is a thing, but it's not unworkable. Okay. Yeah, Miller is an honest guy. I love him. Miller is hard to deal with, but genuine. He doesn't deliberately get under opponent's skin compared to Brad Marchand. Yep. He just works hard. I mean, he does stupid stuff too. I've seen him take swings at people and slash people and all that stuff. Well, Trev, I think hockey players are boring because media judges everything. NFL players don't. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Remember the goalie interview about the goalie being afraid of Russian bears? Yes, that was awesome. How many different players can ask the media the same questions? Media should cycle through some other players for a change. I agree. I feel like the post-game questions are a little baited, trying to elicit the response. 100%. 100%. Because players are trained in their stuff. It's like, hey, what are the keys to the game? Well, if we can score more goals than them, I think we have a good shot at winning. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of stuff. So, they're so programmed. They know how to answer questions. They know how to deflect. So I think that's why the media is trying to get smart too. I remember in the 90s, the players are unusually unique and talk pretty naturally. Now it seems differently. Sorry, didn't mean to yawn. It is now 10:03 p.m. So please forgive me. This is why Jim Rutherford's not allowed to talk to media anymore, guys. It's Alvin almost always. He does talk a little bit, but he is a loose cannon. I love Jim Rutherford's interviews. He is very frank. I love listening to him. He tells way too many details, and I love that about him. They didn't necessarily there was a beef. They seemingly said that sometimes teammates get into it. There's a certain amount of getting into it, which is normal before it comes a feud. I agree. Darren, good to see you. Glad you're here. Wanted to talk to you. I appreciate you reading my comment at the beginning. Your response was fair. I agree that we are not anywhere close to being as good as last season, and I'm hopeful that will change starting tomorrow night. I'm with you, Darren, 100%. We're cheering this team on. We're passionate fans. We're frustrated that we're losing, and we want some answers. The problem is we're not getting those things, and we're not winning. So it just adds fuel to the fire. But I'm glad you commented. I'm glad you're here. I did comment on your comment that I was going to use your stuff, but I'm glad you're here. Jerry Jones is bigger than winning. It's all about exactly. It's soap opera there. Absolutely. Angela, you want Toffoli? Okay. Suter gets first goal. That's what Dell's saying. I would wear my good old Brock Besser jersey since it might be his contract year before coming UFA. Hopefully to see you there. Hopefully to see you there too, man. That's cool. So if you're wearing a Brock, I'll be looking for you, Raymond. The Sharks game scares me a bit. Sharks are playing really well right now, just like Ottawa. Man, I thought Ottawa played really good against us. Vancouver just isn't. This would be a huge win or loss before the break. Bruce Boudreau just said recently that there was a rift between Petey and JT when he was here. Yeah, I believe that. Why would he say that if it wasn't true? Good question. Is he trying to get clicks and likes? I don't know. Being relevant again? I don't know. Bruce probably feels some type of way because he got fired by the Canucks. Yep. Playing well against the Sharks is a good opportunity. Don't be too scared. Unplugged. Good to see you. I feel like it's been a while. It's insane that these two guys don't realize that each other are the best hope of winning the Stanley Cup. If both these guys played to their potential, right? You're nailing this. They can beat any team in this league. I agree. My hope is that they realize their opportunity right now. And put aside their differences. Alvin gets their top four D-men. Pettersson and Miller have their top gun moment hoisting the cup on home ice. I'd love it. I'd love it. I really doubt that. What's it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Suter to score first, 4-1 win. Angelo is down on our Canucks. He's thinking we're going to lose 6-3. That was terrible how I put that together. Miller left. We know Pettersson can play with DeBrusk. So why you stop getting points with DeBrusk when you know you can do it? So why stop? I don't know. You don't need Miller or Besser to get points. I agree. They're just asking questions a different way, but it's always the same. I love seeing Dak in interviews or Garland. I'd love seeing them too. I'm taking Besser for the first goal tomorrow. Didn't I say that? No, who did I say? DeBrusk. I'll be in one of those boxes, Trev. Got my skate Petey jersey, of course. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to be able to see you, but Jack, if we can meet, that'd be cool. But if not, no big deal. Maybe we can meet in the first intermission. I don't know. That would be kind of fun. I'll just be out at 120, but yeah. I'm trying to manifest a PD monster game. He needs it. Okay. I took PD's lunch today to make him snarly for tomorrow's game. That's awesome. Okay, everyone. It's been an hour and 5. You know me. I don't like going over an hour. But I really, really appreciate you. And we know that Quinn is putting the team on his back and scoring first. That would be great. Major liked that one a lot. Okay. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I appreciate you. I'll be around the entrance of section 301. Hope to see you there. I'm going to be at 120, man. I'll be at 120. So intermission of the first period. Let's try that. And Murray, good to see you from New Zealand. Great to have you here. If you haven't watched the beginning of this video, I highly encourage it. I kind of go on a bit of a little rant. Okay. Miller and Petey should go on a bromance date for Valentine's and bond. Yeah. All right, everyone. Merry Christmas to you if I don't see you. I'm not streaming tomorrow night. I'll probably post some things, but I won't be doing that. And then my son just messaged me. It's 10:08 p.m. and he says, Dad, you should make some popcorn. He says, that's a good idea, son. I'd like to just go to bed, honestly. Got a big day ahead of me. Going to travel to Vancouver to watch the Sharks and the Vancouver Canucks game. Can't wait. So I'll be making some content. I just won't be doing live streams. I won't be doing conversations because this is where we're at, people. I am going to be on vacay, enjoying Christmas, celebrating Christmas. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. And of course, always go Canucks go. And we'll talk to you soon. Let me hit the outro video and we're out.